Hello, everyone. It's Tim Brown again. The most memorable story that I could tell was one time I was in the Air Force and I was actually deployed to Qatar, Doha. This was around 2005. And being there when we actually went off base, it was kind of amazing to me because as soon as you get out the base from security and everything, you go out and all I saw was sand dunes, bunch of sand dunes, and then out of nowhere it's a city with skyscrapers and people driving, and the driving was pretty intense. It was like it was no rules on the road at all. It was like fend for yourself, every man for themselves, pretty much. So we get to the mall. We do some sightseeing, buy a few souvenirs to bring back home, things you never seen before in a foreign country. After the mall, we decided to go to like this local resort, which was off in the coast. So basically, you had to catch a ferry to get there. It was probably maybe a 15-minute ferry ride from the coast. So you get to the resort. They have hookah bars, four wheelers where you could ride on the beach, places just to kind of relax and mellow out, from the stresses of the deployment. So me and one of my sergeants, the head sergeant that was in charge, we decided to go sightseeing around the resort. And actually, we got on the elevator and went to the top floor just to sightsee. And once we got there, we noticed it was like a penthouse. And when the doors open, we see like 30 or 40 guys sitting there having a meeting, dressed in their local garments. They look like sheiks to me, and they kind of gave us this awkward look, like, "Well, what are you doing here?" or whatnot. And me and my sergeant kind of looked at each other, like, that awkward moment, like, "Oops, I think we went to the wrong floor." So we hurried up and scattered out of there and met back up with our crew, and kind of continued to relax around the beach or whatnot. And before heading back to base, we were walking around, and my sergeant actually was getting hit on by a guy who was he had on a purse and all this, and he was getting hit on. So everyone was kind of clowning him for that. He was trying to avoid the situation, but he really couldn't because the guy was very persistent. So after that, we went back to base and kind of laughed and talked about it. And that's kind of a memory that's been stuck in my head for quite some time. It's been over 6 years now, so that's one story that I have to put in the books as a good memory. Thank you.